That was like the best decision I've ever made. The best decision I've ever made. So I'm at St. Joseph's camp. I'm walking in St. Joe's, huge building. Went to the field house. They had the front doors open in the field house, so we were coming in. Once you get into the lobby, there was a couple of tables. So they had like A to M and N to Z or all this other stuff. So you went with your last name. And I remember I went with Sue Clark. All of a sudden, I'm like walking in and I'm like a deer in headlights, like, where am I? Everything was sparkling. Everything was bright. There's trophies. There's pictures of athletes and their action shots with like this. Like, it's just all kinds of crazy, right? And I'm like, where am I? What is this? This is crazy. And I looked, and of course, my mom car just drove by. She just dropped me off and left. And no, I know I'm always saying my mom, but my dad was a part of everything. He just had to work, you know? People got to pay for this stuff, right? And all of a sudden I heard a voice, I can help you over here. And I looked and there was this blonde. I've never seen a person this blonde a day in my life. Sue Clark. And Susie. And she was like, oh, come over here. Hi, how are you? Just really welcoming person. I'm like, who is this person? She's so bubbly. I never knew. And she's like, yeah, what's your name? So I gave her my name. And she's like, okay, go ahead, go in. And I'm like, go in. in there, the gym. She's like, yeah, go ahead, go in. It's okay, it's all right. Everyone's good, everyone's good. Go ahead and go in. So I walk into this gym. Now I thought our boys' gym was big. This gym was huge. I walked in, I think I literally felt the floor on the bottom of my jaw. Because that's how my jaw just dropped. I was like, the floor was shiny. And it wasn't slippery. I'm like, I felt like there was water on, that's how shiny it was, because I thought there was water on the floor. And then they had those big industrial fans, like that was supposed to be doing something, which it wasn't. And there was so many kids. There was little kids. There was kids like my size. There was white kids. There was black kids, Hispanic kids. It was like, there was so much diversity in that gym. I've never seen that, ever. And everybody had a ball and they're trying to shoot in the basket and balls are bouncing everywhere. And you hear that sexy sound of balls dribbling on the floor. I don't care what anybody says. I love hearing the sound of a basketball hitting the empty gym floor. There's just something about it. It's just so wonderful. And I was scared out of my mind. I was so scared. I couldn't move. And then all of a sudden, here comes Susie. She's like, it's okay. I'm like, she's like, all you have to do is put your stuff upstairs. I'm like, upstairs? She's like, yeah, come this way. And she showed me the steps. She's like, go upstairs and just drop your stuff off up there and then come back down and you're going to go in there and you're going to get a basketball and you're going to shoot. And I'm like, okay. So I went upstairs, dropped my stuff off. And of course, there's a balcony when you're upstairs. There's like a little balcony and you can see the whole gym. I almost died because I was freaking out. How am I going to do this for a week? So I came downstairs and there's Susie. Smile on her face. Jim, go in. We're about to get started. Walked in, all of a sudden I hear a whistle. And it was Renee Shields that was running it and Pat Coyle. And I was just like, I don't even know who these people are, but I'm gonna sit. And you know, like how everybody's like all huddled together, and I'm like in the back, like sitting on the floor, and I'm listening to the directions where I go, because that's who I am. You give me directions, I'm gonna listen to it, I'm gonna go. But I could feel my chest tightening. My breath was really shallow. My heart was beating. And I swear, I felt like I was slapping the girl in the back of the head when my heart was beating out of my chest. But then I kept thinking, I promised Coach Matt that I was going to do this. I promised him. So I got to do it, because I don't like to give up my promises. If I say I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. So let's fast forward. I actually liked camp. It took me a couple of days. By Wednesday, I was like, okay, I think I can handle this. But that first day was a little nerve-wracking. Second day was just as nerve-wracking, but I was starting to get into the flow of what they wanted me to do. And by the time the end of the week came, it wasn't that bad. And of course, at St. Joe's at the time, that's when the Sixers used to practice there. Yeah. And I will never forget, one day I walked out and I was like, that person was really tall. Got into the car and Mom's like, guess who I was just talking to? And I'm like, oh, okay, I don't know who. She's like, Charlie Barkley. She still to this day calls him Charlie Barkley. It's hilarious. Oh my God, Charlie wouldn't do that. She's hilarious. I love her. Hello, and thank you so much for watching. As always, if you ever want to contact me, just go ahead and go to my solo.to account. I will also put the link in the description. And I know a lot of people always say, make sure you like and subscribe, but I'd rather you put a comment in. I want to hear from you. So put a comment in, go ahead and reach out, and I'll see you at the next video. Take care.